待たせたな。これにて第一の番、いよいよ開幕。金蔵め、相変わらず派手を好む男よ。付きまとわれればしつこいことこの上なき男も、舞台の上ではこれほどまでに映えるというのか。
It started! The first twilight, and the curtain has risen. Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko, when they cry. Kenzo, last time, summoned a bunch of demons, and even Ronobe and everything like that. And with even greater summoning power than Beatrice herself. He summoned a new demon, a new character that we met last time, called Gap, one of the 72 demons. You can also call her side boob if you want. Same thing, same thing. Here we go, it's becoming popular nowadays. We got it with Yamato, we're getting it here too. Alright. 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 So, 6 people died. Then Gob teleported the rest into some cage or whatever to, you know, for awaiting the, you know, the second and the rest of the Twilights. 2 got away though, you know. Those 2 are, you know, if those 2 hadn't gotten away, then they would have had perfectly 13 sacrifices. But those 2 got away, so Gob only managed to get 5, I believe. Yes, that would add up to 11. But I have one important thing to tell you guys. But anyway, the 2 who got away were Kumasawa and Gora. But anyway, one important thing to tell you guys. I've solved... I don't know if you guys remember last part, but I told you guys that I was gonna, you know, I was gonna try to, in my own time, to try and do the statistical approximation of the chances that none of the cousins died. Right, remember when I said that last part? And so I did, and I solved it. I did it. It's not that complicated, but I needed to make some assumptions to be able to do it. So here we go. I'm gonna bring up my notes here. I actually wrote it down and everything, so it's gonna be exciting, y'all. Welcome back to Umineko. So here are the rules for the statistical approximation that I made for the chances that none of the cousins died. So Kenzo arrived. There are 18 people on the island. Kenzo summoned the Chester sisters and Ronobe and Gap, and well, before he summoned Gap, he pulled off the first Twilight. So what happens in the first Twilight? 6 people die. But here's the thing. Kenzo in total needs 13 sacrifices, right? So 13 sacrifices. And what we're aiming to find is, since in this dining hall, before Kumasawa and Gora ran off, there were 13 people, not including Kinzo. Including Kinzo, there were 14 people in the dining hall. Now, the first assumption we make is Kinzo, since he's the one perpetrating the sacrifices, he's the one that is doing the murders, he can't die. For some reason, let's just say he cannot be decided by the roll of the dice, by the roulette. So that's the first assumption we're making. Kinzo's not going to be a victim. Right? Kinzo's going to be one of the 5 survivors at the end of this. That's the first thing we're saying. And this is important for the statistical approximation that I've done here. Now, why Kinzo won't die of the roulette? I don't know. Because he's clearly capable of dying of the roulette. I mean, he's done it in 2 episodes so far, out of the 3 we've read so far in total. So, I don't know. This episode, I guess he's the one on stage, like Beato's saying. So I guess he's the one that's doing the murders. I don't really know. Maybe episode 3, Eva was the one doing the murders. Episode 4, now it's Kinzo's turn. Sure. So who was it in episode 1? Natsu? I don't know. She died at the end. Who was it in episode 2? Rosa? You telling me it's Rosa? You telling me it was Kinzo as well? I don't know. But let's just say Kinzo can't die, meaning that there are 17 victims possible victims on the island. And we need 13 sacrifices. So, and 13 of them perfectly land up here in the dining hall. There's 4 in the guest house. Now, what I was asking last part is, what are the chances that the 4 in the guest house currently, what are the chances that all 4 of them live to the end? Right? Now we had to make another assumption here, and that is the likelihood of each person dying is equal. So the chances of Nazi dying first is this equal to the chances of Battler dying first. We have to make that assumption so that the statistical math becomes as easy as possible. Because if it varies, right? If not, the chance of Nazi dying is higher because she was in the dining hall right in front of Kinzo rather than in the guest house, then that would make things tough on me. So I've made that assumption. Alright? So it's a uniform model that I've made now. 17 people, and we need 13 sacrifices. And I don't want any out of Battler, Jessica, George, and Maria to be victims. I don't want any of them to be victims. So I've done the statistics on that, and I've made it really easy on myself, because I mean the easiest way to do it is on a calculator, or at least on my calculator, maybe not on easy calculator, but I guess on a bit more advanced calculator, not super advanced calculators, but a bit more advanced calculators. You have this statistical probability button that you can press. On my calculator, you have to press Shift and then the division. So you have this command called NCR. Now what NCR does is it takes the combination out of things, out of a set amount of things, out of a total amount of things, and basically gives you all the different combinations, right? It gives you all the different combinations of that, basically. Does that make sense? That does not make sense at all. How do I say? It takes a set amount of things, and it does. Let's say you have 17 people, right? So, okay, this is easier to explain. We can use Umineko as an explanation. You have 17 people, and you have 4 in the guest house, right? The 4 in the guest house. So what NCR does, 17C4 for example, is it takes those 4 people and combines it with the 17 total in as many different ways as possible, ignoring the order that the 4 people come by. So whether Battler or Jessica dies first, or whether Battler dies first or whether Jessica dies first, it doesn't matter. But all those combinations count. So the formula for it is, if I remember correctly, well, I can't say it in English, god damn it, but it's fine. An easier way to, I mean, and basically, we take all those combinations and we do 1 divided by all those combinations. That is the easiest way to do it, but if you don't understand it, that's fine. There's an easier way to do it, and that is, well, I mean, not an easier way to do it, a longer way to do it, but easier to understand, is we have 17 people, right? And we only need 13 of those to be sacrifices, right? Which means, let's see here. Which means that at first you have 13 out of 17, right? Yes, you have 13 out of 17, and then you multiply that by 12 out of 16, and you multiply that by 11 divided by, what is it now, 15? Did I say 11? I can't explain this. 13 out of 17 times 12 out of 16 times 11 out of 15 times 10 out of 14 times 9, all the way down to times 1 out of 5, basically. And that gives us the chances that that Jessica and Battler and Maria and George survive in all possibilities, given that the chances for everybody dying is equal. I dude, this is taking way too long. I thought it was gonna take me. I thought it was gonna be much easier to explain. But but basically, doing the math, I get there's a 0.042% chance that none out of Battler, Maria, George, and Jessica die. That's what I get. Okay, that is the answer I've arrived at. There you go. Alright, so basically, if Battler, Maria, Jessica, and George all survive to the end, given that all four of them were in the guest house and Kinzo's aiming at the victims in the dining hall, I will say this right now, this roulette thing is messed up. Whatever, bro. Kinzo's always gone for low chances, but there's no way. That's a very low chance. 0.042%. There's no way that actually happens. Given, if we assume that the chance of everyone dying is the same, there's no way. I mean, Gab's trapped the rest of them, other than two, in a safe cage where she can, Kinzo can kill them off eventually. But what it tells me is that there is no such thing as a roulette. Kinzo does get to choose, alright? If they were surviving till the very end. But who knows? We'll see. I mean, if the sacrifices are exactly the same people as the one that were in the dining hall, and none of the people that were in the guest house, as in none of the cousins, then I'm calling BS on some roulette existing. I'm calling BS. Given that I've actually done the math for it, I think Kinzo's lying. I think there's no such thing as roulette. I think Kinzo gets to choose who dies and who doesn't. But yeah, I'm sorry for being horrible at explaining the math behind it. And I'm you know what? All right, we'll just be moving on. I can't believe I spent my time off camera doing that. Okay, anyway, let's keep reading. Here we go. All right, let's see what Berto's saying here. Okay, Battler. All right.
相変わらず黒い殺し方ばかりしやがって頭部半壊だてめえら魔女ども悪魔どもの悪趣味には相変わらずうんざりさせられるぜ
頭部半壊なるほど
なるほど
これまでのゲームで一番理想的な殺し方がこれだと気づいたわけね
理想的
I mean, she did it in episode 1 as well, remember? She also, half of their heads was destroyed, or blown off in episode 1, the first Twilight.
このひでえ殺し方がどう理想的だってんだ
Remember episode 2? That was a very brutal way of death. She put candies in their stomachs. Yikes, yo. That was the first time in episode 2. Hey, Gob! Okay, Gob's just coming to this dimension as well. Alright. Gob and Runaway, they both come and go. I remember the first game. I remember it. I literally mentioned it just a second ago, Gob. I mentioned how, yeah, the first Twilight, in the first game was like that. Half their heads was blown off.
お前はさっき登場しやがった新しい悪魔とかいうやつかくそまた魔女の侵食が進んでろくでもないやつが増えたというわけなのか
Which is corrosion, you say? The more the witch's corrosion progresses, the more Rockinjima tilts towards the other world. The more power Beato gets, the more demons she gets to summon. That's why strange people keep appearing one by one. Yep, as each episode passes by, the more people we see. In episode 1 we didn't see anybody. In episode 2 we saw the 7 stakes and the goats. In episode 3 we saw Vergelia, and and Ronove. And now we're seeing Gab. So as each episode we're seeing more and more. We even saw Eva Teach in episode 3. The island is closed off by the typhoon, and not only can no humans leave it, but new humans can't appear either. But the more the corrosion progresses, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now, perhaps there are more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. I mean, if you count the 7 stakes, there's a lot of them, yeah. Their numbers might be precisely the figure representing this math corrosion. I mean, let's see, we got Gop, Ronove, Beato. Let's count Lambda and Burn Castle, shall we? Might as well. Alright, so we got all the Beatos. Alright, so let's not count Angie though. Angie doesn't count as one of the witches, alright? Let's do that. Beato, Virgilia. Okay, those are the 2 Beatos. Got Lambda, Delta, got Burn Castle. We have this new one, Gap. We have Ronove. We have the 7 stakes, which immediately gets us up to 13. We have 13? No. We gotta have more than 13. The ghosts don't really count. I mean, I guess they count as 1 max, so we have 14, but... Did I need to do a recount? Have I forgotten anybody? It seems to just look at the character file, isn't it? What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't think there's more demons. Ooh, okay. Which side? So we got Lambda, Burn, Beato, Maria and Angie don't count. Kenzo doesn't count. Sakutaro doesn't count. Virgilia, Ronove, Gap. The Chester sisters. Ooh, okay, so wait. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. Plus 3 is 16. There's 16. If you get the count, there is 17. Anything else? Okay, let's count everybody that isn't Kinzo, Sakutaro, Maria, and Angie. That does give me 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, plus 7, 16. If you count the goat, that's 17. Yeah. Still not as many people as I mean, it's more people than people that are alive on the island, but it's not as many people as there are in the island in total. There's 18 people in the island on the island in total. I find it very interesting that Beato's below Lambda in this, because again, Lambda did threaten Beato, and it did seem like Lambda was Beato's guardian. So I don't get that. It's so interesting. Is Lambda really like controlling, or I mean, above Beato in this case? I mean, we know Burn is above Angie, and then Angie, Maria, and Beato are in the same tier, and then Kinzo's below. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. Okay, the numbers might be precisely the figure representing this mac corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And not only are their numbers being affected by the corrosion, their fashion sense apparently is as well. Their fashion sense is crazy, bro. It's the Yamato effect. If the corrosion advances any further, and even more weird people appear, just what in the world will they be wearing? It's too scary for me to imagine. I mean, this isn't too bad right now. It could definitely get worse, yeah. Ah, seriously, give me a break. Please, no more of these weird people.
そうはいかんぞ。まだまだ増やすぞ。人間どもの語るクローズドサークルなる間抜けなルールをわらわがいくらでも怪我してやろうぞ。
I'll defy the closed circle rule humans speak of over and over again.
よく来たな。我がガープよ。
Welcome to my game Gap.
お久しぶりね、リーチェ。
What? What is that nickname? What's wrong with you? Riche? Are you crazy?
お元気だった？
That's crazy.
というか随分元気そうじゃないの。あなた若返った？私が知ってる頃より2、300歳は若々しいわ。
That's insane.
ああ、なるほど。
Wait, how do you understand why she looks younger? What? The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced as Gap. Took a glance at me and then grimaced as though she'd figured something out on her own. So because she's been fighting me, Beato's now hundreds of years younger? Honestly, I felt that smile was repulsive. Yeah, I bet.
ベアとの友人らしいな。ってことは、輪をかけてろくでもねえやつってわけだ。
Facts!
しかし、クローズドサークルがなんとかって言ってやがったが、 どういう意味だ。
今の六軒島のような外界から断絶された場所で起こる連続殺人ミステリーはクローズドサークルとも呼ばれるわ。
Okay.
外界からの断絶、つまりは閉じられた輪の世界というわけ。故に登場人物と容疑者は限定されるのが一般的。
I see. See, consider I'm not a very murder mystery novel guy. This is the first time I hear this. Therefore, in general, the characters and suspects are limited. That is interesting. And so Beth is just saying, frick that, I don't care, I'm introducing more characters. Nice.
にもかかわらず、新しい容疑者候補が次々に輪の外から追加されていくのはミステリーの作法に反する。つまり人間とミステリーに対する魔女の冒涜ってつもりなんでしょうよ。
I see.
あなたがグレーテルなるほど、賢い子みたいね。そういう子は好きよ。舌が甘くてとろける。
Hey, yo! Phrasing! Nah, Bastard, I see what you mean now. Phrasing! What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You even called her a kid. What is wrong with you? What is going on in your thoughts, Cap? That's crazy. That's wild. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. To say, oh my god, I just got a lisp right there or something. That's actually wild, yo. That's wild. Hey, don't say that about my half sister. This is not okay.
気色悪い。
I know, right? Angie, dude, this is disgusting.
冗談は服だけにして。
Oh! Angie! Oh! Oh, clap back! That was good. That was good. That was really good. That was great.
デビリッシュプリティの最新作。
Yeah, no one cares. She destroyed you there. Yeah, Angie destroyed you. Jack the Ripper? What are you on about? The frick? You look like a Londoner, but this is crazy.
人間界の田舎娘には理解できないセンスでごめんね。
Nah, she destroyed you though. She destroyed you there. Nah, that was a good roast from Angie. That was way too good of a roast. She got you good.
通気性がいいのだけは理解できたわ。
Damn.
ついでに頭にも切れ目を入れたら。
Oh, dude, the layers behind this roast. Why don't you add a gap? Because her name is Gap. Oh, Angie, you're too smart for us. Damn.
脳みその通気性も良くなるかもね。
God, Angie has no chill. What the frick? Dude, why is she not the protagonist? Why is Battle the protagonist? What is this? Yo! Wow! Might help your brain cells breathe a bit.
ガープは魔界の流行にいつも敏感でな。しかし今年の流行りも実に大胆だ。わらはもう一度ぜひ取り寄せてみるとしよう。
リーチにはアリグレがおすすめね。アリス&ザ・グレイブヤード。
Alice in the graveyard. I still can't get over the fact that she calls her Riche. Riche.
今度一緒に666のお洋服見に行きましょうよ。
Why is 66 in green? Well, we know what 666 means, but I guess we'll read it. Sure.
たまには魔界にもいらっしゃいな。
Alright, what's 6? Is that a shop in the netherworld? Oh, I clicked on characters accidentally. That's just great. Alright. Tips. Grimoire. Alright. Ali Grain 666. These are references to modern Japanese fashion subcultures. Alice and the Graveyard references Alice and the Pirates, a gothic pirate punk Lolita fashion brand. Alice in the Graveyard. I'm gonna Google that. Alice in the Pirates, sorry. Meanwhile, I Google that. 666 references the famous department and fashion store 109 in Shibuya. Oh! Japan's popular youth culture district. Okay, I thought it was just referencing the devil. 666. Okay. Finally, Devilish Pretty is a reference to Angelic Pretty, a very famous sweet Lolita fashion brand. Alright, what the frick is Alice and the Pirates. Alice and the Pirates of the Caribbean. Right, it's just, yeah, okay. It's just gothic Lolita fashion. Yeah, I see it, okay. Okay, I see, I've googled it. Lolita. Okay, we have, let's see, the one on Shibuya, and let's see, Angelic Pretty, a very famous sweet Lolita fashion brand. Right? Angelic Pretty. Here we go. I've googled it. About okay, yeah, again, just like a cutesy girl dress fashion thingy. Okay, okay, cool. Modern Japanese fashion subcultures. These didn't exist in 1986 though, did they? Wait, what is this? Oh, right, that one. Okay, let's go back then.
このゲームを終えたらぜひそうしようぜ。
Well, if it goes in Lambda's direction, then this game will never be over. Or I mean, this specific game, yes, episode 4 will, but the game board will never end.
それにしてもリーチの対戦相手のお二人はなかなか可愛いな。
She still calls her Viche. Great.
この子なら当
No.
展開したいにどういう意味があるか察しがつきそうね。わかる？お嬢ちゃん。
Nah, you're weird.
さっきこいつは一番最初のゲームを思い出せと言ったらどういう意味だ。
言葉通りの意味よ。一番最初のゲームの第一の番を思い出して。
Yes, when 6 people had their heads smashed in.
大人たちの死体が魔法陣の描かれた園芸倉庫の中で発見された時のことよ。
Yeah, I remember.
覚えてる？
I remember. You don't have to do a flashback, I remember. Oh. Okay. Episode 1. Yes, I remember this! The first one. Don't remind me of such brutalities. This is the first murder I ever saw. It was brutal. 6 people, Cross, Rudolph, Kirie, Rosa, Shannon, and Gora, had died, and each of them had their head pulverized. So, okay, who was it that died? That was interesting again. So, Rudolph and Kirie both died. Cross died, but Nazi didn't. Rosa died, Shannon and Gora died. Right. Kumasawa didn't die. Right. Kumasawa didn't. And neither did Eva and Hideyoshi. Right, okay.
あの時あそこには2種類の死体があったわ。それは顔面を粉砕された死体と側面を粉砕された死体の2種類。
Oh, you're right! I didn't think about it like that. You're right. There are people with full polarization and people with half.
そうだ。顔面粉砕はルドルフ、キリエ、ローズ、ゴーダの言う。
Right, Shannon didn't have that treatment. Cross didn't either? I don't remember Cross not having that treatment. Cross is also a survivor, by the way, of this first one, of episode 4. So, Rudolph, Kirie, Rosa, and Goda had their faces completely smashed. Shannon and Cross got away?
側頭部粉砕はクラウス、シャノンの2人だ。
Okay.
わらわもあの時点では気まぐれに生み出した2種類の死体であったが、より残忍な死体である前者の方がわらわにとってむしろ不利であることに気づいたのだ。
More advantageous, okay.
ベアトにとって不利。そうか。そういうことか。
I get it. I don't. What do you mean? That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious, but they made it hard to confirm the identity of the person. Is that it? Is that the reason why it's disadvantageous for her? Because we can't recognize the person, which means it's easier for me to theorize that the corpses were just it's easier for me to see that the corpses were fake and that the culprit is one of the corpses allegedly killing about. For example, at that time, Uncle Cross and Shannon-chan had their heads only half smashed. That itself was, of course, atrocious, but because half of their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identity. But that and the other three were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed, even I, his son, could only guess that it had to have been that because of his clothes and the like. But it doesn't confirm it. In short, it remained unclear until the end whether that really was Dad's corpse.
第1のゲームの時にも、もしも推理バトルが行われてたなら、俺は多分親父たちの死体を本人確認不能のため偽装死体の可能性もあると主張していたかもしれない。
True. And you kinda did actually. You kinda did theories about that, I remember in episode 2. You theorized about how there could be a fake corpse. Or was it in episode 1 as well? At the very end of episode 1. I remember you were talking about how a fake corpse could exist, and that gave me a really good idea. I remember.
何しろあのゲームの時にはベアとは一切赤での発言もしていない。
It's true, Red Truth didn't exist at the time.
お上手よ。それで正解。偽装師はミステリーの基本の一つ。たとえ医者に検証させたとしても、犯人とグルを疑われればその結果は信用できない。つまり確実な死を保証できない死体は常に魔女サイドを不利にするということ。
あらゆる死体について偽装死を疑い、その後の事件の犯人に想定することができる。バトラの嫌う手だけど、魔女に対する最も初歩的な一手。
It's a movie Battle doesn't like. Why does Battle not like the movie? It's great. Oh right, I know why. Because that means suspecting one of his own family. I get it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
ああそうだ。
You don't. Battle doesn't like it because it suspects his own family or people he loves.
だからベアとは赤を使い出した。
Yeah.
赤き真実で完璧な検証を行うようになったんだ。
Yep, yep, yep.
そういうことだ。本来ならばこの第一の番の惨劇に対し、わらわはすぐにでも赤き真実にてこの度の6人の死亡を確定させるところである。しかし知っての通り、今回のわらわの戦闘はこれまでとは正反対の赤き真実の兵糧攻めといったところ。
Why is she revealing this to me? Why is she revealing her tactic to me? I don't like that. I don't like that she's revealing her tactic to me. I feel like it's I feel like there's a reason for that. There's no way she would just tell me why that's her tactic.
そなたが反撃の拠り所にしようとする以上、わらわは容易には赤を使わない。必要最低限の赤にて、たった一箇所だけほころびさせればいい。
I see. I can just make it come a part of the teams. Okay. Very interesting that she's just revealing that right off the bat, like that. She's just been very very clear about what she's gonna do with the red and stuff here, and I don't like that.
つまり、わらわは究極的に言えば、そなたのあらゆる密室の推理について、あらゆる暴言を許せども、そのうちの一つ、たった一回の赤き真実にて打ち破るだけで良いわけだ。
Yes. You're right. She does only need one red truth to smash my theories. Let's see. Well, why is she just telling me this? She's been she could have hidden all this away from me. She could have hidden the fact about the half faces away from me, right? The faces being pulverized and all that. She could have just been silent about all of it, but she's revealing it to me. Gup is revealing it to me. We're all just talk about it openly like that, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it because it would mean that it means that Beato's confident, right? I don't think it's Beato being condescending as much as Beato is confident or Beato has a plan for something.
散々俺をいたぶってきやがったくせに、俺が反撃に使い出したら今度は引っ込めやがったってわけだ。ふざけやがってよ。
とにかく赤を使いたくない。蹴っちりたい。
Me pity.
バトラをいじめてやりたい。
You've already bullied me plenty.
しかし、赤を使わずに確実なる死を保証するにはどうすればよいの？ わらわは悩みに悩んだわけだ。そのアイデアをガープがくれた。実に簡単な方法だったのだ。
Just smash half their faces.
当たり前なことを言ったらリーチがひらめいただけよ。私は誰にでも容易に身元の判別と完全なる死が理解できる死体を用意すればいいと言っただけ。
つまりはその2つを合体させたわけ。身元の判別に必要な顔と完全なる死の象徴である魂の器たる頭部の粉砕。この2つを左右ぴったりきれいに合体させたら、あら不思議。この頭部半壊死体がパーフェクトであるという答えが出たわけだ。
お前絶対2食パンとか2食アイスが好きだ。
Haha.
欲張りな子供市民丸出しだぜ。
いずれにせよ、たとえ頭部が半壊していたとしても、現時点では彼らが死んだとみなすべきではないわ。
Only Umineko. Only Umineko is someone going to say this sentence. In any event, even if their heads are half destroyed, we shouldn't assume that they're dead at this point in time. I love that. I love that from Angie. Only Umineko will someone say that sentence and be like, alright, for real though.
分かってる。
I know. You know what I mean? In every other place, people be like, what are you on about?
ベアトがもったいぶって赤手の宣言を拒む以上、全ては疑ってかかるべきだな。もちろんシエスタの太もも姉ちゃんたちの魔法殺人だって鵜呑みになんか絶対しねえぜ。
Right. So even the Chester sisters, even he's calling even them babes. They got bunny ears. I don't know how much I'm with you on that though, Batter. Those bunny ears, sussy.
本当に慎重になったこと。最初のゲームの頃だったなら何でもかんでも鵜呑みにしてくれていたのにね。
So you have been watching the games, Gap? You know all about what's happening?
公的種はこうでなくては面白くないというものよ。今は赤がないことを幸いに、自由な想像を広げ、好きに推理を重ねるがいい。一番最後、一番おいしいところでバッサリと赤き真実にて叩き切ってくれようぞ。
Last break. That's that chapter over. Okay. Alright, Beato. The Sweet World of Witches. That's this new chapter's name. Rosa? Please, wait a minute. I hear the noise. Please tell me this is the room of the... You know how I feel as that Gab just sent them to... I hear they're in like in a cave of sorts. I hope... I don't know why I said it like that. I hope that Gab sent them in the room of the gold. I hope they just look around and be like, oh, there's the 10 tons of gold right there. I hope Rosa just finds it right in front of her. That would be crazy. Rosa and the rest that came with her as well. Cross and Shannon and Canon. And I think one more came with them? Was it 4 people that came with them? Because 6 died. That means that's 7 left. That means that 5 people came down here. So Rosa, Canon, Shannon, Kraus, and one more. Nanjo. Yes. These 5 people should be down here. If they all find the gold like this, that'll be hilarious. Let's see. Silent. Black. Cold. Painful. Rosa regained consciousness bit by bit. And the first thing she thought was that it would have been better if she it would have been better if she hadn't. No, not like that, Rosa. You still got a daughter to take care of. After all, her body was so cold and hurt so much. Ouch. And it became worse the more her consciousness returned. It felt like she had been sleeping in the darkness for a long time now, face down on ice-cold marble. Ah, this is why I always tell myself, even if it's just a nap, at least get on the sofa. I always know that if I naively try and close my eyes for just a second, and end up sleeping on the floor or at my desk, it'll hurt my body later and I'll suffer for it. Yeah, it's bad. You know, at least lay on a sofa. Because she slept on such a cold and hard floor, she was chilled to the bone. Ouch. Because she slept on such a hard and cold floor, the side of her face that had been pressing down against it was very painful. I can imagine. I can imagine. If she were to look in a mirror right now, she was sure she would see an embarrassing mark. She didn't think that was just. She didn't think that just rubbing it would make that mark disappear, but she stroked the hurting side of her face for the time being, trying to smooth it over. What? Where the hell is she? Where is this? Great question. She thought it was pitch black, but that appeared not to be the case. After all, she could faintly see her own body. What? She could faintly see her own body? She thought it was pitch black? Without a doubt, there was some source of light. But even when she looked up at the ceiling, or else the sky, there was only an expanse of blackness, and she couldn't see any such thing. Huh? What the frick? Isn't this the... Isn't this the room, the freaking Unhuman Party room? At the end of episode 1, Unhuman Party, this is the room they were at. Burn, Castle, and Beato. And eventually Lambda Delta appeared here as well at the end of episode 2. What the hell is going on here? Her body alone was slightly lit, whereas everything else was sunk in darkness. That's what this world was like. It was almost as though Rosa alone had been abandoned in a forgotten world. As her mind grew clearer, she started getting nervous about why she was all alone in a lonely place like this. When she was about to call out, asking if anyone was there, patter, patter, she heard footsteps coming towards her. Huh? They were light footsteps, so she thought it was probably a kid. Oh, it's Kanon maybe? Kanon? They didn't feel creepy to her, so she wasn't afraid. Kanon? Oh, it's this place. Okay. But they also weren't Maria's footsteps. So, wondering who in the world would be in a darkness like this, she stared in the direction she could hear the footsteps from. As she did, a faint approaching silhouette came into view. What? What the frick? Sakutaro? It looked like a child much younger than Maria. But, wait a second! Oh, what's happening here? Sakutaro, this is your own not Sakutaro. Rosa, this is your own creation. You created Sakutaro. You destroyed him, and now he's back to meet you. It looked like a child much younger than Maria. Okay. Who is that? It's Sakutaro. You made him! How are you gonna forget about him? I didn't know him. Well, just as you forgot the promise to... Well, I mean, allegedly. If the promise ever existed. Just like you forgot the promise to Maria, you forgot about creating Sakutaro. I mean, he is in his furry form right now. He's not in his normal stuffed animal form. But the expression on his face was like a lost child separated from his parents. As a parent with a daughter myself, I felt as though my chest was being torn apart.
Uryu.
Uryu. Okay. Sakutaro. She's talking with Rosa. Glass break. Ah! Ouch. What's wrong, Rosa? The instant the kid muttered that infantile word, I felt a sharp pain in the half of my face that was aching from the cold floor, as though it had been pierced by long, thin, hard needles. What the frick? What's happening? Wasn't Rosa sent? Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a second. Who died in the first trial again? Last part. It was Nazi, Rudolph, Hideyoshi, not Kraus, but Genji. Nazi, Rudolph, Hideyoshi, Kirie, Genji, and one more. One more died. One more person died. Natsuhi, Natsuhi, Rudolph, Hideyoshi, Genji, Kirie. Who's the sixth person that died? It wasn't Nanjo, was it? No, it wasn't Nanjo. It wasn't Kumasawa, it wasn't Gora, it wasn't Kanon, it wasn't Shannon. It wasn't Kraus. Obviously it wasn't Kinzo. Who the frick? Eva! Eva died as well. Yes. It was Eva. Rosa was one of the surviving people. She was one of the people that fell in the black hole. Rosa, Danjo, Kanon Shannon, and Cross were sent down black holes. And now Rosa's meeting up with Sakutaro in this unhuman party place? Okay. I reflexively pressed my hand against that side of my face.
大丈夫？まだ痛い？
ありがとう僕。
Boku.
ここはどこ？すごく寒いわ。
こっちへ来て。ここにいちゃいけない。
He took my other hand and pulled, with a grim expression on his face. I don't have a clue what's going on. However, a single honest expression from a child can often tell the truth better than 100 empty words from an adult. She didn't understand the situation, but even so, Rosa dashed along with him wherever she was pulled. However, this was a world where nothing could be seen in the darkness except for their own forms. She couldn't even really feel whether she was actually moving forwards as she ran. Even though I'm running, I can't even feel any wind. It's as though I'm still inside a nightmare. That kind of unreal feeling. So even though I was running, I couldn't maintain my sense of balance, and my legs got tangled and I fell. Even in a world that didn't feel real, the pain of smashing my face against the cold, hard floor was reality itself.
ウリュウ、大丈夫？
It's this door again. This is the door Angie came from. What? It's the door where Angie got sent to 1998 and through all of Maria's past and stuff. And Angel's looking in. Okay, wait, what the hell? And when she came back through this door, she met up with Lambda Delta and Mammon again. Remember that? I remember that. And then Lambda Delta tried to threaten her, telling her that she should try to draw forever. So it seems like whenever Sakutaro says Uryu, half of her face gets really, really hurt that she was lying on.
ごめんなさいね。頭が痛むの。
When he said that infantile word Uryu, pain like being stuck with needles ran through my head again. Again, yeah, I noticed that. The Uryu is what's getting her. That's the click word. Even though had only happened twice, I was somehow able to understand that his word was the cause of my pain. So I said so frankly, stop saying Uryu! Oh, that would be really funny, because that's what she says to Maria all the time. Stop going Uryu! now she's saying it to Sakutaro as well.
ごめんなさい。その、うりゅうという口癖をやめてもらえる？
ウリュウ、
Sakutaro, what a Chad! Look at this guy, look at this kid, what a Chad! I'm sorry, can you stop saying that word? It hurts my head really, really bad when you say it. Uryu. I was really hoping he'd say that. Oh my god.
ちょっとやめてって言ってるでしょ。
Yeah, Rosa, now you know what it feels like to die, huh? Now you know what it feels like to be torn apart, huh?
う、
He's about to say Uri again. And he goes, oh, wait, okay.
ごめんなさい。
This time I got the feeling that his words of apology made me feel a sharp pain in my forehead. Okay, so saying sorry also makes her hurt? What is this child? I know there's no malice in him, but when I'm around him, my head hurts.
大丈夫？早く行こう。ここは行っちゃダメ。
You mustn't be here.
どうしてここにいちゃダメなの？ねえ、ここはどこ？あなたは誰？あなたのママはどこ？
Where's your mama? Funnily enough, you are his mama. Yes, Rosa, you're Sakutaro's mom, because you created him.
僕を作ってくれたのはママだよ。
Your mama. Mama's like, what? I'm your mama? What? Huh? It's me? Rosa? He stared at me with round eyes. This kid's mama is me? Who is he? Who is this kid? I mean, apparently, I don't remember at all. Well, you gave birth to him. I find this interesting, because now that we see it from Rosa's perspective, right? Do you guys blame her for not remembering that she gave birth to Sakutaro? I wouldn't. So, I think if you saw that promise that Maria made with Rosa, if you saw it from Rosa's perspective, do you think we would see something similar to this, where we wouldn't blame her for forgetting the promise, quote unquote? Maybe the promise wasn't the same from Rosa's perspective as it was from Maria's perspective. So that's why there's that disconnect. I think, let's not be too hasty on hating on Rosa, everybody. Someone in the comment section made a really good point about that, so.
僕のこと忘れちゃった。ママが僕を作ったんだよ。
You made me, you know. So again, now she's saying that she's forgetting him, just like she forgot the promise she made with Maria. But again, I wouldn't say Rosa's bad for forgetting Sakutaro, because Sakutaro's in a completely different form. And again, from Rosa's perspective, he's a stuffed animal, and that can't talk. But so the promise with Maria, is that like a similar sort of thing?
ちょっと冗談はやめて。
Haha, nice joke, kidding around because he's a kid.
私の子供はマリアだけよ。そう。マリアはどこ？マリアはどこなの？マリア！
Where's my child? I suddenly grew uneasy about Maria not being there. Why am I all alone in a place like this? Where's Maria? Maria being there for me is the only thing that keeps me together.
マリアはいるけど、今はマリアじゃない。今は会わない方がいいの。その方がママのためだし、マリアのためなの。マリアのためにも逃げて。
I see. So, is this happening right after Maria tried to deny Sakutaro? Or is denying Sakutaro? Right after the heartbreak of Rosa destroying Sakutaro? Is that what's happening here? But then, if Rosa revives Sakutaro, if Rosa does do that, right? Bring Sakutaro back. I'm thinking. If Rosa does bring Sakutaro back, let's see. Then he'd be fine again, and Maria would again accept his existence as him being alive, right? Maria would do that. So, let's see here. Then yeah. All Rosa needs to do is acknowledge Sakutaro's existence again, that he's alive, and then it'll be back for Maria. Maybe.
何を言ってるの？マリアはどこ？マリア！返事をして！
マリアに見つかっちゃう。早くこっちに来て、ママ。
He pulled my hand again. He was probably pulling me in the opposite direction from Maria. So I stopped in my tracks. Oh no.
話してよ。大体あなたは誰よ？あなたにママなんて言われる覚えはないわよ。
Who said you could call me Mama?
僕を作ってくれたのはママだよ。忘れちゃったの？マリアのバースデープレゼントにするために僕を手作りしてくれたの忘れちゃったの？
あなた、
まさか。
まさか。
まさか。あなた。まさか。Sakutaro?
マリアのサクタロ。
うん。ママに作ってもらったライオンのぬいぐるみだよ。
A fierce sharp pain struck me. It came from the palm of the hand he was grasping. I instinctively knocked his hand away, and when I looked at my palm, blood! A hole the size of a thumb had opened there, and thick, deep red blood was gushing out. It was a hole so big that I could see through to the other side. Oh yikes, that must hurt. Don't say that! That's gonna hurt her even more! Sakutaro also noticed my wound and panicked. Judging by his reaction, he couldn't understand why my hand had sustained a serious injury. But to my eyes, it felt like I had sustained that injury because he had grabbed my hand. Whether there was malice in him or not, I understood that this child was something that would do harm to me, and he instantly became strange and frightening. Disgusting, crappy stuffed animal? That's what you thought of him? So why'd you give him to Mari as a birthday present if that's what you really thought of him? Disappear! That's gonna hurt her. Oh, maybe not. You didn't see the full Uryu, so maybe not. Slowly, the base of Sakutaro's neck tore in a horizontal line. What? It gaped open and the pitch blackness inside it peeked out. There was no gushing of blood, only an endlessly empty blackness. Whoa. More glass breaks, and then from the inside of the gash, cotton snow poured out, and he slumped over, scattering bits of cotton about. Why would you do that, Rosa? All that remained there was crumpled yellow cloth, and bits of cotton that looked like sticky, crushed cotton candy. You killed him again? A lion stuffed animal, that's crazy. Without a doubt, they were the remains of the Sakutaro stuffed animal I had torn apart on that day, overcome by my emotions. The incident admitted that. A long, sharp shriek that could rupture an eardrum tore the world apart. Maria? Maria? Like a flood from a broken dam, or like a broken TV, Maria wailed in a high-pitched voice. Maria's voice, which made the ears throb, brought up two emotions. The first was regret. I let my emotions get the better of me and committed a terrible mistake. A mother's desire to kneel down right away, hold Maria's head, cry with her and apologize. And in fact, I did that right away. I held Maria's head and apologized in tears for what I had done. But Maria didn't stop crying. On the contrary, she rejected me, the one who had torn her closest friend apart, and pushed me away forcefully with both hands. Since I had been on my knees in an unnatural position, I fell backwards easily. Maria scraped together the yellow scraps of cloth and cotton bits, buried her face in them, and cried even more. Watching that, the other emotion welled up. It welled up rapidly, and then burst. I mean, she won't come around even when I apologize, and there's nothing I can do now anyway, and it's all Maria's fault in the first place. That's crazy! I mean, she can't make any friends because since she's forever taken up with this make-believe stuffed animal thing, and that's why she's treated like a weirdo, and, you know, this is a good opportunity for instructive guidance. It's not like I was pampered all the time myself. Things eventually break, are stolen, are broken. Even I had lots of toys and treasures stolen, broken, and made fun of. And thrown away by my brothers and sisters and father and mother. I can imagine, Rosa. As the youngest, you're the youngest sister, I can imagine. But though I might have cried about that, though I might have shed a few tears, not once did I sob like this and trouble my parents, throw a tantrum, get in a terrible mood, pound and kick the floor and make a horrible racket. I always wanted to, but I thought I'd get it in more trouble if I did, so I always held it in. It's because I held it in that I was able to become the wonderful adult I am now! Okay, interesting. You're a wonderful adult now? Okay. Suddenly, I felt something strangely missing. The same feeling as when you use a tool recklessly and it finally breaks so that you're left holding only the base. But I hadn't been using a tool. I had only been using my own two hands to hit Maria's head repeatedly. What the frick?! So I looked at my hands. From my wrist onwards, my hands had snapped off, cracked off, and were gone? As though only those parts of my arms had become ceramic. What? Huh? No. Everything beyond my wrist literally had become ceramic at some point. And had broken and fallen? Cracks had formed in them because I had hit Maria too much. And they had fallen off. Look, see, aren't those my hands there? Lying smashed by my feet? There was no pain. But the shock inside of both my hands breaking off at this wrist made me scream. Nani?!
これでもうマリアを叩けないね。
Ignoring my confusion, Maria said that with a very cold voice, as she slowly moved her hands away from her head, where they had been defending against my barrage.
何よこれ。私の手。私の手。何をしたのよマリア。これは何なのよ。何これ。何これ。
A black silhouette was suddenly standing behind Maria. It was the silhouette of an adult. Who?
娘の頭を絵本を見て温かい食事を作ることのできる腕を残してもよいかと考
ママはマリアの頭を撫でるより叩く方が多いよ。絵本なんかめくってくれない。ご飯だって作ってくれない。マリアが自分で買いに行くの。でも同じお店に何度も行っちゃいけないし、顔を覚えられてもいけない。おまわりさんに話しかけてもいけない。なんで？どうして？マリアが悪いの？マリアはママに撫でてもらったり、絵本を読んでもらったり、一緒にご飯を食べたりしちゃいけないの？どうして？どうして？マリア悪くないよ。マリア悪くない。ママが悪い。ママが悪い。ママは一緒に遊んでくれないけど、サク太郎は一緒に遊んでくれた。本も読んでくれた。テレビも見てくれた。一緒にご飯も食べてくれた。ママよりもっともっと大切な友達だったのに。悪かったと思ってるわ。でも仕方ないでしょ。ママは仕事で忙しいのよ。仕事で。ママの仕事が忙しいのは知ってるでしょ。仕方ないのよ。仕方ない。
I can't even say anything right now. This confrontation has my eyes hooked. Like, I just need to read and focus right now. Because this is insane.
そうこれは仕方なきそなたの娘が傷つき心を引き裂かれ涙に血を浮かべることさえこれは仕方なきなれば今この場にてこのようなることになるもまた全ては仕方なきことさあマリ母を名乗った女の言い分は以上だ いな。無罪か、はたまた有罪か。
許せない。ママは有罪だ。作太郎にママがしたのと同じ目に合わせてやる。ママを首の縫い目のところから引き裂いて中の綿をぶちまけてやる。
Maria's eyes ominously flashed blue. Huh? In that instant, invisible massive arms stuck their fingernails out and grasped Rosa's entire body tightly. What? The bones all throughout her body made sounds like twigs being stepped on as they readily cracked and broke. Rosa vaguely understood. The massive arms are probably my own arms from the time I tore Sakutara apart. From a stuffed animal's perspective, my arms must certainly have been this massive. So I could imagine what would happen next. The sharp nails stuck strongly into the base of my neck, and I heard the skin tearing with my own ears. Holy crap! Then, washed over by the two witches, Rosa's flesh was split in two, top and bottom. When Sakutara had been torn apart, bits of cotton had flown about like snowflakes. But in Rosa's case, something like thick black tar came out, filthily flying all over the place. There wasn't even a trace of the red of blood. It was something black, filthy, and thick. There's something else that's black, filthy, and thick. It was probably what a bloodless, tearless human kept inside their body instead. Tearless human. Damn.
これはすごい。醜い。なんと汚らわしき中身か。見事であったぞ、マリア。さあどうか。そなたの復讐はこれにて十分。そなたは母を許せる。いいな。無罪か有罪か。
許せない。まだまだ許せない。有罪だ。
Beatrice brandished her pipe wand, and a surge of gold butterflies regenerated Rosa's broken body in an instant.
「一つの命で償えぬほどのそなたの大罪身をもって知る。そして自らの深き罪を思い出す。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどれほどの罪を犯した。
もしもし、ママなの？ママは何時に帰ってくるの？ごめんなさいね。今日も仕事が忙しくて泊まりになってしまう。またお仕事でお泊まり？ママのお仕事、今日も大変だね。ごめんね。本当に忙しいの。もうずっと会社に缶詰よ。外の空気も吸えやしないわ。ママの仕事は早く終わらすだけじゃダメなの。より良いデザインをあげないと次から仕事をもらえない大変な仕事なのよ。だからどうしても時間がかかっちゃうの。うん、分かってるよ。マリア、いい子でお留守番してるからお仕事いっぱい頑張って早く終わらせてお家に帰ってきてね。ママのお仕事を分かってくれてありがとう。明日美味しいケーキを買って帰ることを約束するわ。ケーキいらないよ。ケーキ屋さんによって遅くなるよりその分ちょっとでも早くママが帰ってくる方が嬉しい。大丈夫よ。早く帰ってくるわ。約束する。
だから美味しいケーキを2人で食べて、美味しい紅茶を2人で飲んで、一緒に新しい絵本を読みましょう。この間買った狼と羊のパズルで遊びましょうね。
Oh, interesting. She bought that recently, she says, okay. What was the cheap puzzle? The one that she sold back. Maria did.
2人で一緒に。約束よ。
うん、約束。待ってるね。お仕事頑張ってね、ママ。
ほうほう、寂しい話ではあるが、互いを思い合う良き親子愛ではないか。何か問題があるというのか、マリア、そしてローザよ。
その約束は私はちゃんと守ったはずよ。次の日の夕方に約束通りケーキを買っていつもより早い帰宅をしたはずよ。
ううん、マリアは知ってたよ。あの日の夕方ね、ママ宛てに着払いの荷物が来たけど、お財布の中のお金が足りなかったから、
Oh.
ママにどうしようって相談したくて会社に電話したの。
Whoa, what? Okay.
特別な時以外はかけちゃダメって言われてたけど、ママのお仕事の大切なものだったら悪いしと思って電話したの。
Rosa, what is this?
そしたらママはお休みだって言われた。
That's crazy.
その日はずっと前からお休みに決まってて、遠くへ遊びに行っているって言われたの。マリアは知ってたよ、ママが嘘をついてるって。ずっと知ってた。でもね、サクタロがそうじゃないってマリアを叱ってくれたの。ママは毎日お仕事でとても大変、マリアを放っておいて遊んでるはずなんてないって。ママはお休みって言った人はきっと何か勘違いして言ってしまったんだよって。サクタロがそう言うんだもん。マリアは信じたよ。マリアは信じた。ママ大好き、ママ大好き。もちろんママだってマリアを愛してる、愛してるって。
ええ、私もよ。愛してるわ、マリア。
Rosa let out a deep sigh. Maybe she felt the weight of her words. Then she set the receiver back on the bedside phone. Oh my god, y'all. Oh my god! The dark room made the window side view of the starry sky on the ground stand out even more beautifully. On the table in front of that terrace was a very cold wine cooler. And the one she was enjoying a glass with was gazing at the scene below.
娘さんに旅行って話してないんですか？
行くって言って前にうるさかったんで、以来言わないことにしてるんです。その方が面倒がなくていいんで。
I have no words.
娘さんが気になるなら無理に日程を組まなくてもよかったじゃありませんか。
でもそれじゃいつまで経っても予定が合わないし。 それは気にしないでって言ったでしょ。
The slender, middle-aged man, clad in a white robe, gave a small sigh. Rosa reacted insensitively to that slight action.
もう娘の話はなしにして、せっかくの上等なワインが台無しよ。
私はあなたに一人の人間としても女性としても魅力を感じています。ですがだからこそあなたとして時間を割くのは申し訳ないと感じています。
私と娘の事情は気にしないでくださいっていつも言ってるじゃないですか。あなたと二人きりの時に娘の話はしないようにしてるでしょ。電話だって下のロビーでうるさい酔っ払いがバカ笑いしてなければここではかけなかった。
ローザさん、こういう唐突な日程での旅行は娘さんのためにも今後は少し考えませんか。互いの日程があった時だけでいいじゃありませんか。
I'll say this: I respect the guy at least. I respect Rosa too. I know that's a crazy thing to say at this point, but I mean, I respect the guy at least, like that. You know, he's so understanding. Genuinely, I think if ignore all the stuff that just happened. I mean, don't ignore it. But if Rosa introduced the guy to Maria, I don't see the issue. Just be like, yo, I'm going out with this guy, right? I mean, yeah, your dad left us. He left us for milk, but this guy seems great, right? I think it could have worked out better for Rosa, rather than saying that, oh, Maria's annoying, would be too much of a hassle to tell her. I'll just say that for now. Anyway, let's keep reading though.
それじゃ全然日程が合わないじゃないですか。私はいつだって一緒にいたいのに。
それは子供の恋愛の仕方です。大人同士の恋愛はもう少しストイックであるべきですよ。ローザさんと一緒にいられる時間が長く取れないことは僕も寂しいです。ですがその限られた時間と機会で僕たちは十分に大人の恋愛を楽しめていると思いますよ。
それはもっと娘と一緒にいろと、女でなく母でいろということですか。
あなただって望んでいることでしょう。娘さんと一緒にゆっくり過ごしたいとあなただって思っているはずだ。僕は逃げません。僕との時間を優先するために娘さんを犠牲にするのは気の毒だと申し上げたいのです。
奥さんとのより戻したんですか。別れるのが嫌になったんですね。
Guys, I really wish I had like a webcam on right now. The face that I just made was crazy, bro. The face I just made was crazy. I can't even begin to explain the sort of face I just made. My eyes lit up right there. My face, bro. Yo, if I had a webcam. Yo. It was one of those so shocking. I didn't have a word to say, bro. I didn't have a thing I could say, yo. My face just did it for me. I couldn't scream. There was nothing to say. I don't have words for this. I don't have words for what's going on right now. I don't have words, yo. What's going on in my body is unbelievable. What I'm to say that this is wild is an understatement. To say that this is crazy is absolutely an understatement. This is astronomical. This This is beyond insanity. This is psychopathic. This is sociopathic. This is... Hey, let's just get ready for now! Huh?
あなたが娘さんの話をしたくないのと同じです。
My heart!
子連れの女は面倒だって思ったんでしょう。
そんなこと、今までに一度も言ったことはありませんよ。
みんな、子連れだと分かると手のひらを返す。あの子の養育費は気にしなくていいからと言っても、みんな手のひらを返す。あなたは娘のことを理解してくれてると思ったのに、やっぱり子連れだと嫌なんですね。
What they said in episode 1 or 2 was actually true. What Battler, I believe in Battler and George were saying in episodes 1 and 2. I'm not sure which episode it was, but it was one of those earlier episodes. When they were talking about Rosa and Muddy and stuff. What they said was accurate. I wasn't sure if I fully believed them, but what they said was accurate. Go back to that discussion if you don't remember. I want to talk about it at the end of this video. I don't want to talk about it right now, because I will go on a rant. But wow. It's becoming more and more accurate the more I read into episode 4 here. Wow. Okay. Wow. This... Wow! Okay.
そうは言っていません。ローザさんのことを嫌いになってもと言いませんよ。私が言いたいのは、娘さんをもっと大事にしなさい。あなた自身もそれを望んでいるはずだ。だから娘さんに嘘をついて自らを傷つけてほしくない。そう言ってるだけなんです。
嘘つき！私のことが面倒になっただけ。そうでしょ？
そんなことは言っていない。
いいえ、わかるの。私にはわかるわ。あの子を理由に何度も捨てられた私だからわかるの。雰囲気でわかるわ。そうよ、あなたもそう。他の男たちと一緒。
I'm dying. Bro, there's like tears coming out of my eyes. This is insanity. Yeah. Oh, she just said, "You're the same. You're just like the other men. You're just like all the other men."
子連れの女は嫌なのよ。バツイチは嫌なのよ。面倒なのよ。知らない男と作った子供の親になんかなりたくないんでしょ。ええ、そうよね。その気持ちすっごいわかるわ。
How do you know how that feels? Wait. How do you know how that feels? How do you know? Wait. I don't. How do you know? Wait, you know how it feels to be on the receiving end. How do you know how it feels like to be on the giving end? What's happening? Wait, did the first guy you married, that you had Maria with, did that guy have a child? You don't want to become the parent of a child with me, man. What are you saying, Rosa?
子連れの男と付き合ったことがあるけど、その気持ちすっごいわかったの。
It's not slowing down. I'm gonna cry. It's not slowing down. Oh my god. Guys. Breathe in, Amin. My heart rate right now must be insane. I must be on like 150. My heart.
だから娘を理解してくれるあなたとなら一緒になれるって信じたのに。そうよ。
Rosa, you're on stage. Rosa, you're on stage right now. Talk. You're on stage.
あんたなんて邪魔だったのよ。
Georgian Battler. They said it. They freaking said it. Georgian freaking Battler. It's Georgian Battler. They said it. Georgian Battler. They said it. I wasn't sure if I could believe them. It was Jessica too. Jessica was there too. I wasn't sure if I could believe them. I didn't know I could believe them. When they were talking, I almost didn't believe them. I was like, there's no way. I was like, no. Wow. So it really is Maria. Nani desu? Desho?
あんたさえいなければ私はとっくに女としての幸せをつかめたのよ。あんたの存在が私の幸せをいつも邪魔するのよ。私だってあんたなんか読みたくなかったわよ。
Stop the count! Stop the count! Rosa, stop the count! Stop it! Stop it! Stop the count! Stop the count! Stop! Stop! Pause! 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 Pause it! Pause! Pause! Pause it! Pause! 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 Brr, brr, brr. Stop the chin!
いいえ違うわ。あんたと一緒に幸せな家庭を築けたらと思ったわよ。でもあんたが生まれる直前にあいつは蒸発したわ。私と温かい家庭を築くと言って私を騙し永遠に私の前から消え去ったわ。
My man just cream pied you. Was like, I give birth to this kid, and just left. He just left. He just peaced, yo. Like, alright, it's about a month away before you give birth. Cool. I'm out for milk. I'm out. Good luck raising the kid, yo. Alright. I had a fun time though. You,
残ったのはあんただけ。愛も思い出も何もない。あの男は今どこへ。私との日々を温かな思い出に勝手に変えて新しい恋人に出会ったかもしれない。
You probably went to a new woman, did the same thing, cream pied her, left. He probably did the same thing. Alright? That's crazy.
そして今度こそ幸せな家庭を築けたかもしれない。そして私はあんたがいる。恋も探せない。
Alright guys, I'm gonna need to stop this right here for a second. I need to stop and go get a breather. I'll be right back though. Just need to get a breather. Sorry, this is insanity. I'm back. I'm back. I had to take that breather. I haven't been collecting my thoughts. I'll be honest. This is insane. Okay. Alright. Let's keep reading. Okay.
男は好きに女を渡り歩いて武勇伝気取りなのに女に私にはあんたがいるあんたという重しがいるのよあんたのせいで私は恋を探せない愛が得られない一人で生きていくしかないいいえそれさえも許されてないわ私には一人で酔いつぶれたい夜さえ許されていないあんたは誰何者私の人生を台無しにして私の新しい人生さえ許してくれないあんたは私の人生の何者なのよ死ね消えろあんたなんか生まれてきた時から大嫌いあんたがお腹の中にいた頃から大嫌いだったそれを前向きに受け入れようと頑張って良き母を演じてきたわ
Unconditional hatred.
私は頑張った同世代の女性たちが独身を謳歌し時に恋に遊びあるいは愛に結ばれるのを横目に見ながら私は女と母の二足のわらじを吐き続けたわその私の苦労を誰がねぎらったの誰も褒めない称えない自業自得気持ちは嫌負け組の遠吠えうぶな小娘がいいこっちから願い下げようケツの青い若造どもが必死だった私はさぞかし簡単に落ちる女に見えたろうさ必死だったわよまだまだ恋をしたい年頃の私が日々を仕事と育児で忙殺されていきこのまま老いてこのまま人生を終えるだろうと悟った時どれほど必死だったか想像もつかないでしょうよあんたの本当の父親ももちろん憎いわよでも破局を迎えた責任は私と彼に半々だわ私にも逃げられるだけのしつこさがあったのかもしれないでもその後の破局は全部あんたのせい私はあんたにそれをなじったことはあったないでしょ男に逃げられて酔いつぶれたいその次の日があんたの授業参観泣き晴らした目を発言賞でごまかしてあんたが的外れな発言をしてクラス中から失笑されてた時の私の気持ちなんてあんたどころか世界中の誰にもわからないでしょうよ
Getting a breather was not enough. Getting a breather was not enough. This is in
あんたが嫌い大嫌いそしてこれまでにあんたを本当に愛したことなんて
Mari's face was frozen. I'm frozen. He forged really were blades. Mari's whole body would probably have been stained red with fresh blood by now. even after gaining the power of a witch and resolving herself to take revenge for Sokotaro, she couldn't understand these curses coming out of her mother's mouth. Where's Asmodeus at when we need this lust?
邪悪を極めし千年の魔女のわらわとて見るに耐えぬことこの上なし。ああマリアよ、今こそ決別の時。そなたの母を名乗った醜き肉の塊を打ち砕け。そなたの無垢なる魂、親子なる鎖にてこれ以上束縛される意味はなし。自らの魂、自らの手で今こそ解放せよ。そなたは自らを守る牙と爪を今こそ手に入れたのだ。
マリアを苦しめてきた日々を今こそ思い知らせてやる。苦しみの日々を今こそ復讐してやる。
Insanity. This is insanity.
その私を苦しめてきたのはあんたじゃない。私が復讐したいくらいよ。あんたが生まれる前にそうすればよかった。あんたなんか産まなければよかった。消えてしまえ。うわ
You're saying you should have gotten an abortion? As Rosa howled, her upper body was crushed in a way that can only be described by the word splat. And in an instant, was turned into something similar to a wrong, blood-stained towel.
潰れてしまえ。許せない、許せない。
クズがふさわしい姿。
Even though everything from Rosa's waist downwards was upright as normal, the upper half of her body alone was crushed. The extreme difference was altogether bizarre. Then she fell over, but her body was regenerated the instant she fell. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. I haven't been able to speak at all because it pains me a lot. Everything hurts. Okay. This hall was colored by the ugly sound of flesh and bone being simultaneously crushed. as Rosa, who had foully insulted Maria, lay spread-eagled. A neat, perfectly circular area of her chest was squashed into a pulp, as though it had been trampled by an invisible elephant. Her heart and her lungs and her ribs were trampled so mercilessly that they were completely indistinguishable. That might have symbolized the pain in Maria's heart up until today.
さあマリソナタの気これで晴れたら母の罪は許せる。いいな。無罪有罪か。
許せない。まだまだ全然許せない。ママは有罪だ。有罪有罪有罪。許せない。
無論だとも。そなたの苦渋の日々、この程度の罰で見合ってなるものか。思い知るがいいローザ。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。殺されるためによみがえれ。己が罪を見そぐために殺されよ。何度でも。
Beato waved her wand. Her body was regenerated again. And Rosa sat up, coughing violently in pain. And once again, she spat out curses rejecting Maria.
お前はママなんかじゃない。魔女だ。マリアとママを苦しめる魔女だ。ママの姿をしているからって許さない。許さない。
魔女はあんたでしょ。気持ち悪い本ばかりを魔女ごっこにかぶれて消えるのはあんたの方よ。あんたのせいで私まで変わり者扱い。あんたのせいであんたのせいでお前なんか産まなければよかった。お前なんか生まれてくるな。生まれてくる前から大嫌いだったのよ。
This, my favorite soundtrack from Umineko is called Thanks for Being Born. That's kind of wild that I'm reading this right now, as that's my favorite soundtrack from Umineko. That's kind of wild. Maria screamed. Was she unable to bear her anger and sadness? Or else was she taken over by an indescribable emotion? It was surely a cry of hopelessness. And yet, this was the reality that had to be accepted. Even Maria knew. She had known that she was thought of as a nuisance. But even though she knew it, she did not believe it. She believed that she was loved by her mother, and all the various events that should have made her doubt this, she did her utmost to interpret in a positive light, trusting and clinging to her mother's love. But she had no one except her mama. Despite all this, she really did love her mama, and wanted to return to the days when she could still believe that her mama loved her too. So she howled. She brought everything to nothing. She would not accept it. She denied it. She denied the Black Witch making her mother say such things, and the part of herself that couldn't forgive that mother. But she couldn't deny it. This was reality, fact, truth, the answer. Unmistakable, absolute, reality. Maria turned Rose into a lump of meat over and over. In the dark world that affected her heart, over and over it echoed. That ugly sound which would make one want to cover their ears, of flesh and bone being torn apart. Each time Beatrice revived Rosa, she dragged her back into the world of endless torture from which even death was no escape. This was the true deepest hell that the endless witch Beatrice could create. However, this world was not made endless by Beatrice's will. Because every time Rosa turned into a lump of meat, Beatrice asked the same question of Maria. Why is this a laughing situation, Beato?
気は晴れたかマリア。そなたの怒りは母を許せるか。
苦しみのすべてを教えてやる。もっともっと教えてやる。
Look at her face, by the way.
まだまだ足りない。全然足りない。生まれた時から、生まれる前から蔑まれてきたこの怒りと悲しみがどうしても消せないの。
あんたなんか大嫌い大嫌い。
Insanity. Again and again she revived her. Again and again she returned her to a lump of meat. In all kinds of ways she crushed her, smashed her, beat her, and tore her to bits. Flying blood splatter and flesh had by now turned the once pitch black world into a mix of red and black. Maya's anger was still not settling down. It was as though she was disgorging all of the rage she had suppressed from the time of her birth until today. If all of that was poison to her heart, then would the repeated murder of her mother purify her soul? Could these pointless atrocities save her soul even just a little bit? This endless torture might have started serving as a slight diversion from her sad, unrewarded life. After all, it seemed that she had finally been able to regain her smile.
思い知れ。マリアの不幸の根源め。思い知れ。私の痛みがこの程度ではないこと。どうしたの？もう笑わないの？笑ってみせろよ。
Half of her skull collapsed. Eyeballs flew out, and black cranial fluid gushed. Fragments of teeth scattered.
ほら、よみがえりなよ。笑ってみせなよ。ほら、ほら。
Her whole chest, along with her ribs, turned inside out, spewing her filthy innards everywhere around her. All of them right, looking like some kind of foul creature. Ora, ora, ora!
よみがえって。まだ笑える？まだ笑える？
Rosa couldn't let out a laugh anymore, but her face was laughing. It was covered with a twisted laugh, which was filled with a malice that rejected her unwanted daughter. I erased that laughing voice. Next, I'll erase that laughing face. I'll erase it. I'll crush it. I'll tear it into bits. Oh my god. God.
どうしたのママ？起きてよ。絵本を読んでよ。お散歩に行こうよ。愛してるって言ってよ。次の日曜日の約束をしようよ。お買い物に行こう。映画に行こう。そしてその約束をどうせ破るんだよ。
That's an insane face she's making. That's an insane face. Twisted. Very twisted. Holy crap, y'all. My heart can't take it so much more of this. Like...
楽しいねママ。楽しいね。マリアは今ママと遊んでるんだね。
そうだ、そなたは今母と遊んでいるのだ。じゃれているのだ。どうか今の感情は。 怒りでも悲しみでも苦しみでもない。
そうだね、わかるよベアトリーチェ。私は今すっごく楽しいよ。ママと遊んでるんだもん。すっごく楽しい。そしてママを何度も何度も殺してるのに、魔法一つで好きなだけ生き返らせられる。おもちゃは壊したら直せないから大事にした。でも治るおもちゃなら何度でも壊したい。
And this is why Sakutaro was trying to tell Rosa to run away. Sakutaro was fearing that this would happen, so Sakutaro tried to tell Rosa to go the other way. He tried to save Rosa from this. God damn Sakutaro. What a goat, Sakutaro. He knew that something like this would happen, didn't he? And of course it's all Beato's fault as well. Just lay the blame on Beato. She's the piece of crap behind everything.
でもサク太郎は治らないんだね。治せないんだね。作ったママが、産んだママが認めないから。
Beato. I feel like Beato's trying to distract her from that.
私もママに認められてないんだね。だから壊れたマリアももう治らないんだね。楽しいな。楽しいよママ。こんなにも楽しくなったらなぜかママが許せる気がしてきたの。ねえベアト、これはとっても不思議な感情。どうしてマリアはママを許せる気持ちになってきたの？
それは生き死にを自由にできる力を得た魔女のみがたどり着く達観の境地。いつでも殺せ、必要ならよみがえらせ、面倒ならまた殺せばいい。それをいつでも指一本鳴らすだけでできることを知ったなら、人の世のざれ言などその全ては聞き流すに等しい虫の声いいかよ。そなたに母を許そうという感情が芽生えた。そなたが今こそ真の魔女の世界の入り口に立ったからだ。ようこそマリア。深淵なる、そして甘美なる魔女の世界へ。
なったんだ。マリアはもうマリアじゃない。まだ見習いかもしれないけれど人間の世界を超えた。私はもう原初の魔女見習いマリアなんだ。もう私は何も悔しくない、悲しくない。ママ、許してあげるよ。きっと私はママを許せる。もうちょっとしたら許せると思うの。
Interesting. So relying on magic and turning to a witch makes you forgive people. It's the whole thing of just magic will fix things. Magic will heal problems. Will make you feel happy. As long as you believe in magic, you'll be happy.
だって魔女だから。
Mother probably would forgive her mother eventually, after brutally murdering her countless times, generously.
でけえな、今の落雷は。近いんじゃねえか。
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna have to end it. Holy crap. I hope you guys enjoyed that part of Umineko when they cry. I I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know how. I don't- This may have been the most insane part of Umineko when they cry yet. If you're just talking insanity. This chapter, what is it? Are we on? We're on chapter 12 now. Chapter 12 of Umineko, yo. This entire chapter has been. Wow. Just wow. So, I want to note back to the discussion Battle Georgia and I believe Jessica had at some point in episode 1 or 2. They said that Rosa, after she gave birth to Maria, apparently they weren't even sure about it themselves, but apparently Maria's dad left for milk, and of course that's my way of saying that. Obviously, the dad just pieced out, right? He didn't want to. He didn't want to deal with Rosa and her cage. He just went. Right? He just left. He just left them. Basically, to divorce. Well, didn't even divorce her. He just left. And then oh my god, I can barely handle it. And then Bather and George said that Mario was holding Rosa back. I bet Rosa would love to have fun in her life, but she probably feels like Mario's being a nuisance to her, right? When they said that at the time in episode 1 or 2, I didn't believe George and Bather. I was like, nah, Rosa loves her kid. Yeah, she can, you know, hit her sometimes, a bit too much and all that. But she still loves Maria, right? She doesn't actually think of her as a nuisance, is what I said back in episode 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure. But I could never back then. I could never imagine that they hit it, that they hit the nail in the coffin like that. That they were just pretty accurate with what they were saying. That discussion was wild. Uh, this episode, I'll say this: it has tried really, 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 really hard to villainize Rosa. Well, it's shown her to be this bad mother who's very selfish and that. That's what he's trying to do. But as Rosa's, one of my favorite characters. Still, yes. By the way, I just want to try to say that right now. After all this, do you still like Rosa? Yes, I do. And I just want to provide a different perspective here. Okay. Rosa, when Rosa was ranting about earlier, saying that you're in the way, Maria, right? I want to be a woman. I still haven't found love. I want to find a man that will love me, but you're in the way. You're a nuisance, right? Is it messed up? Yes. But here's the thing, yo. And this is what I said several parts ago as well. Rosa didn't plan for it. She even said this part earlier. That, oh yeah, at the start, I was planning to have a happy family with your real father and we were gonna have a great time together. I thought I'd found real love. I didn't expect him to just leave me out like that. So from the moment you were born, Maria, right? Rosa still didn't feel like she knew what love was. She still saw everyone else feeling love, and she wanted to feel that for herself too. But of course, naturally, having a kid gets in the way of, you know, having, finding love easily, right? I mean, you can imagine, right? I mean, uh, you can imagine people being turned off from getting in a relationship with a woman who has a child already. You can imagine that. I mean, it's just the truth. It's just how it is, right? That's just how it goes. Um, so after being, after having gone through several breakups, Rosa ended up ended up with the conclusion that, okay, I'll just lie to Maria and say that I'm working, and be able to hang out with this guy. Not tell her about it. I'll tell this guy that I have a daughter, but I'll show him that. I'll tell him that, he doesn't need to pay for her expenses, and that, see, even though she has a daughter, I can still make time for you and hang out with you and all that stuff. Rose is really trying her best to bring her love back, um, and to convince the guy that, yeah, it's fine to love her. Now the guy was like, "Hey, it's fine, no problem. Go hang out with your daughter. We don't, we can't be together all the time." But Rose is like, "Nah, nah, nah. I know what you feel like because Rose has been through it before." Um, and then Rose has said something crazy too, in that she knows what that feels like because she apparently had been in a relationship with a guy who had children already. That one was wild to me. That Rose had been in a relationship with another guy who already had children. So she knew what it feels like to obviously marry someone with children who already has children, and I get it. I get it from my POV. I get it. Like, it would be hard to marry someone who already has children. I get it because, you know, yes, they're human beings, but I mean, in the most disrespectful way to say it, they are luggage. You know what I mean? Like, they are expenses, heavy expenses, and it's not that like it's not like some people don't care about children. It's more like, if you marry someone who already has children, that's an extra thing you have to take care of, and the child isn't even biologically your own. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a child. Obviously, it can still be your child if they're not biologically your own, of course, right? I mean, you know, uh, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying now a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people don't want to raise a child that's not biologically their own. And I think whatever your thoughts on that is, I think that should be at the very least accepted as okay. They should be allowed to want to have, you know, to marry someone that doesn't already have a child that isn't their own, and have a child that is their own. Um, Especially considering Maria by this point is 9 years old, so it's not a 2-year-old child, right? It's 9 years old that already has a sort of establishment on her life. Uh, it's a messed up situation all around. It really is. Um, Rosa's rant was painful. Maria's screams were painful, and Maria's rant was also painful. It's broken me. This has been insane. Oh my, oh my, oh my is really all I have to say. I have so many thoughts in my mind right now. But I do want to say something though. For all of you guys, and for myself, I guess, too. And that's... It's easy to blame Rosa, right? when you're looking at it outside like this, it's very, very easy. It's very, very easy to be like, Rose is a piece of crap of a mother. She's a horrible human being, and very selfish and all that. Very easy to do that. But I genuinely believe that Rosa, Rose, when she married the guy, the father of Maria's father, I genuinely believe that Rosa was expecting things to go well, right? Obviously, right? She married that guy, had Maria, and from then on, was hoping that they'd build a happy family, they'd be happy together, Maria would grow up, and Rosa, of course, has no expectations of being the next head of the Shirome family. Um, she'd continue with her design company, have a happy life, and she could find love with this guy. I think before you start just hating on Rosa right here, I think imagine the pain of someone running off from you like that. Someone you thought you loved, someone you deeply loved too, right? That you're willing to have a child with. That you're willing, especially because Rosa's a woman too, so she's the one that has to go through the pain of labor. She's the one that has to go through 9 months of absolute agony and pain. The guy left her before she was born, right before she was born. So Rose had to go through the pain of labor all alone. The guy she thought she loved deeply wasn't even there to see his own daughter being born. And then, whether you like it or not, children are expensive. Rose has to go through a lot of effort, a lot of trouble to raise Maria, give her clothes and food and shelter and a room and of course, just, clothes, I say clothes, but a bed to sleep in, make sure she gets enrolled in a kindergarten, a school, all that stuff. While also taking care of this design company that she has, but also she still wants love, right? I mean, Rosa already explained her feelings. Nobody praised her for the work that she did. And while you may not say her work may not be the most honorable, considering the way, she raised Maria, I just want to say, at the very least, it's understandable how Rosa got to the point where she's at right now. Right? I understand it. I don't respect it. I don't want any woman to. I mean, women in real life have to turn out like her. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I don't want any woman to turn out like her, even though I know it's realistic and I know it happens and I know it has happened. Obviously, women have to turn out like Rosa. Where their man ran out on them and they still they wanted to love again. So it's a realistic situation. Let's not act like this doesn't happen in real life too. The relationship between Rose and Maria, this is not. The fact that that's realistic and just is what makes it even harder to take in. That this has happened plenty of times before to multiple different women throughout the world. And men too, I guess, right? I mean, I'm sure if a woman runs off on a man and he has to take care of a child as well, and the guy wants love again, of course, it's just, and you also have to think about Rosa's probably like what, in her mid-20s when she gave birth to Maria, so still really really young. I bet. I mean, imagining now. I'm imagining right now Rosa's in her mid-30s, right? Because I'm imagining Cross like 50 plus years old, Nazi and Eva also like 50 years old or something. So I'm imagining Rosa's like mid to late 30s by now, and it's just, you know, she didn't want to live a lonely life like that. And another thing you do have to remember is that whenever she's with Maria too, she has to remember that the guy that gave birth to Muddy with her was a piece of crap that left her. She's just something she's gonna have to remember for the rest of her life. Kind of like how Kirie, whenever she sees Battler, she reminds her of Asumu, who she obviously disliked. Obviously, Kirie's never ranted off the Battler about it or anything like that. She's done a good job of keeping it hidden that, Battler reminds her of horrible thoughts. But it's just, oh my god, I have a hard time. I'm having a hard time with all this, y'all. So I'm gonna end it there. I I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. I need to cool up my head after that. This was one of the most insane, crazy parts of. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time for more of this. Oh my god. I don't have any words to say. Alright, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this at the very least as more than I enjoyed it, for sure. And I'll see you guys next time. Alright. Peace.